to be top of the group for the World Cup qualifiers with 13 points. And if you look at all the other groups, there are some countries that qualified with 10 and 11 points. This team had 13 points and was unbeaten in the round, up now to the final match in Ghana. And so we must give great credit to the coach and the players, and we want to thank them. Helman Mkolela, who started the journey against Uganda, because it was a beginning of a new direction. We saw new energy, new ambition, new fighting spirit, which they carried with them. And they went to Ghana with determination and courage. So we want to thank them. We are also here then to deal with the issue arising out of the match, and that is the events in Cape Coast. I have with me here Ace Ngobo, and we ask him to come in and give an independent evaluation or analysis of what happened there. So the first question is, when did we embark on this action? Well, we can say immediately upon the completion of the match in Cape Coast in Ghana. I think there was an outpouring of emotion in our country. We all watched the match. I then phoned the CEO, who was at that time with the match officials, and the head of delegation was there with him, Mr. Aubrey Bartman, and Vincent Cheka is somewhere here as a manager of the team. And I then asked him to go and approach the match officials and inform them that we are going to challenge the outcome of the match, and specifically we are concerned with certain decisions in the match, and so we're going to ask for an investigation into match manipulation in this match. Now, of course, we then have to say, what is this match manipulation? We asked specifically Mr. Ngobo to look at every decision, to analyze it, and test it against the laws of the game, and see if there is a pattern that we can show that may have had an influence of the outcome of the final decision. We have now received the report from Mr. Ngobo, and he must have spent 10, 11 hours in reviewing the match and making the analysis, and he will give you a full report on this matter. And so we are here today to inform the nation of the event that unfolded in Cape Coast Stadium that shocked and saddened us, because FIFA has a responsibility to protect the integrity of all of its competitions, and that is a responsibility that arises from the FIFA statutes. In February 2017, FIFA decided to strengthen the integrity of global football when they entered into agreement into a company called Sports Radar. Now, Sports Radar was appointed to monitor each and every one of FIFA competitions, every match, to protect the integrity of all its competitions. The monitoring of matches, therefore, was part of a preventative strategy by FIFA, and our responsibility as SAFA National Association is to recognize first whether there's any bias that we can prove against our team. Two, we have to resist and expose such bias. And thirdly, is to report it to FIFA, any match manipulation involving our national teams or FIFA competitions. So what is match manipulation? And what are we placing before FIFA? Match manipulation of a match is when there's unlawful influence or unlawful altering of the direction or the cause of the match or the result of the match or any aspect of the match. And so the first question that we must answer, well, was there unlawful either deliberately ignoring or deliberately applying decisions to influence the direction and outcome of the match. And the reason for match manipulation is it is manipulated for financial gain, or it's manipulated for football advantage, where a member wants to go to the next level of competition, and therefore you have that particular manipulation of the match. And lastly, whether there was an agreement or a conspiracy to win a match or phases of the match in order to determine the outcome. Now, what we are then looking at, was there any deliberate action on the part of the referee or the match officials? Deliberate action means that there was a miss or a wrong application of the laws of the game by the referee. And again, we've asked Mr. Eisnober to see whether in his view, was there a deliberate miss or wrong application of the laws of the game in this particular match. We want to demonstrate, we ask him to demonstrate the point by analyzing the referee's decision. In other words, did the referee deliberately or wrongfully give a red card, give a yellow card, give a penalty, give a decision that is not in line with the laws of the game? So there is deliberate action on the part of the referee, or there is deliberate neglect on the part of the referee. And this is there a deliberate neglecting of his duty to take action during the match? Did the referee deliberately neglect to take decisions even when it was clear to that the referee was required to take that decision in terms of the law of the game? So when incidents happen, did he ignore it, again, with the intention to influence the outcome of the election, of the match? Did the referee fail to award a free kick, a yellow card, a red card, a penalty, when it was clear in terms of the rules he should have done that? Did he deliberately neglect to apply the laws? Again, we ask Mr. Noble to look, analyze, and tell us whether there was such a tendency. In other words, we're asking for whether or not there was a confirmed and deliberate bias against Bafana Bafana, against South Africa, in order to have a particular outcome in this match. And he will talk to us. Then, of course, the other question is, was there betting on the match? Yes, there was betting on the match. I don't know, do you have, can you put it on there to show them? This is Ghana versus South Africa. Bookmakers, according to them, has put a mistaken favorite and put the other betting there. So it is a fact that there was betting on the match. Now, you see, what we want FIFA to investigate also, because what happens in betting, if I know that in the 10th minute the referee is going to give a penalty, then there's a betting spike just before the penalty is given. And if that happens, that the betting spikes coincide with the decision, then you know. But how is it that there's a betting spike just before a major decision is taken, and therefore people bet? So they knew when to bet. Because it's online betting, you sit at home, you watch the match, and you watch the time because you have information. Of course, we don't have the capacity to do that. We've asked FIFA to do that. You don't have the second, but in any case, it's confirmed that there are many, and they express their own views on the question of betting. The last issue is, was the profile of the match such that there were interests outside football? And that again is confirmed, yes. There's huge profile. I don't know. Do you have those? Eh? You don't have it. But you have seen the articles. You are journalists. There was one saying that if Ghana loses this match, there'll be major problems, even for the president of the country, if they lose this match. Then there's another one that says that Ghana will at least get 2 penalties. If not, then we will definitely get 1 penalty. Those things are there.
You put it in the media, President.
You put it in the media section. Then, so all of these things, and then there is a further one saying that this is a must-win for Ghana, a win at all costs. Ghana must win. Now, all of those things, it could be just a spontaneous, patriotic expression and in their support of the national team, but we're asking FIFA again to look at these things and apply their mind and see if this is normal leading up to this match. Because what we must know is that this match was a very decisive match, a very important match. And Ghana had only one option, and that was to win. If they play a draw, they're out. Anything else other than a victory, other than a win, would secure them the next round. And so we're asking FIFA to look at these things, to analyze it, and to let us know what is their understanding of what happened. Fact of the matter is, we move from the premise that we have to respect the integrity of football outcomes. You may know that when we played against Senegal, we were given a penalty, and upon the review, we said, it's not a penalty. And when FIFA asked us, we said, well, if there is evidence that there may have been manipulation of this match to give us that penalty, even if it's going to secure us to go to the World Cup. No, we don't want to go to the World Cup on that basis. So if you call a replay of this match, we are prepared to replay the match, which we did. This time, the boot is on the other foot. And we can just leave the matter in FIFA's hands, because out of 54 countries on the African continent, only 5 goes to the World Cup. It is the most difficult continent for countries to qualify for the World Cup. And therefore, there must not be other interventions. We must protect the integrity of both the games and the outcome of the games. And that is the basis on which we proceeded, that we were not convinced that there was integrity in the decision-making in this match. And we want to place the matter before FIFA, so that FIFA can make the final decision. They have all the instruments. They have a sports radar, that reports on the patterns of sports betting. They have an agreement with Interpol. They have huge capacity for investigating this matter, and we want to place what we have found before them to make a decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President, for that detailed overview. And now let's hand over to Bafana Bafana coach who concludes to take us through the end of the qualifiers and the way forward for this exciting team. Over to you, coach.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, when I compare the situation today and the situation when I came here in South Africa.
Just 1 minute, coach, so that I can just fix it.
Oh.
You can go ahead, coach.
Okay, as I said, when I compare the situation today and the one of 5 months ago, it's a difference of day and night. And when I came here to sign my contract, the only thing I heard was critics, pessimism. There was nothing good about Bafana Bafana. So I've tried to evaluate the team on that moment, and I decided to rebuild the team. First thing for me was that there were many older players in that team. Players who were 28, 29, 30. That means that when we should go to Qatar, there should be players of more than 30 years old. So my decision was to try and find young players here in South Africa. Because when I saw the players who were abroad, and I said it already that moment, it's not because you are abroad that you are a good player. Certainly not when you don't play. And when I saw all those South African players in Europe and other countries, there were not many players who played on a high level. So there was only a little number of players who could be Bafana Bafana. And from that point I started to go and see games here in South Africa, knowing the players, because for me, I didn't know South African players. And the first selection I made for the games against Zimbabwe and Ghana was not so it was not so easy. It was very difficult for me. I had much help from Helmut Makelele. He's the one who knew this South African football, and he helped me a lot, certainly in those first 3-4 weeks to select a team. And it was for me also looking what it should be. I didn't know. I didn't know if it should be good or bad. And you see also when we played that first game in Zimbabwe, it was very hesitating. We were not confident. It was a young group, young players, many players who were for the first time Bafana Bafana, and you saw that. The confidence was not there. So we had a talk after this game in Zimbabwe, and when I saw then against Ghana was what I wanted to see. I saw a team who was very confident, who plays good football, a good team spirit, and I knew that we were on the good way. And 1 month later, we have Ethiopia. Ethiopia was certainly, the travel to Ethiopia was horror, really horror. And I said it already the last weeks, I hope that FIFA will see what happens here. This is not normal that you have to do a travel of 10, 12 hours before you are on the location where the game is played. Take the last travel we did to Ghana. Okay, it's 6 hours flight. This is not a problem. But you're coming there and then you need to do a new PCR test. you lose 2 hours, and then you have a travel with bus under 25 kilometers, 3 hours and a half after 6 hours flight. So I think that FIFA has to review that. It's not the travel, but try, if we play in a location that there is an airport, that you don't have to do again another travel. So it was horror to go to Ethiopia, and we won that game on mentality. And that was for me also something to be very happy, because I heard when I came here that the mentality in Bafana Bafana was not good. I saw that it was a good mentality. Those young players were hungry. They wanted to prove something, to show something to me, but also to all the South African country. And we won 2 times. The second time even more on mentality, because we were exhausted before the game of the traveling to Ethiopia. But we won it. And then I was sure that we will be very close to be qualified for the next round. And then came the game against Zimbabwe, and that was maybe our weakest game of all. If you compare that with the other games, the team spirit was not like it was before. We were not the right mentality. We didn't play good. So it was our weakest game. But that can happen. And you know, something like that happened always on the wrong moment. And for us also, it happened on the wrong moment. We only won the game with 1-0. And afterwards, when you see then the goal differences and so on, then you know that if we should have scored 2 or 3 goals, and it was possible. We played against the Zimbabwe, who was not the Zimbabwe of 2 months before. There were players who were not there. The coach tried some other players. So if we had played in that moment on our normal level, we should have won it with 2 or 3 goals, and the game in Ghana should be easier. So, and then came the game of Ghana, and you can be sure of it, the determination in the team was there. We wanted to do a good result. A good result is winning, but that we knew that it should be very difficult, but we should play a game to be qualified for the next round. And I saw that on the players, I saw a behavior, there was concentration, everything was there to do a good game. And then the game started. And after 50 minutes, I went to the bench and I said to my 2 assistants, forget it. Ghana will win this game. And in my career, I had also those games that you think that the referee is against you. And it is because you are emotional, because you are nervous. And after the game, you have to be honest with yourself and tell, yes, hey, you were too nervous, you were you didn't see what it was, and okay, he was also against the opponent, and it's normal. But here after the game, I was more convinced that he has been against us, that we couldn't win that game. And this is very frustrating. I saw players crying after the game. I saw frustration, I saw anger, I saw everything. And I think it was the right emotional thing that we have to have after that game. So I hope, really hope that the complaint will be received and that we can at least replay that game, because we deserve that. For the future, I think what I said in the beginning, it's a totally other situation. We have a team now, and then I don't speak not only about the players. I saw what I see, I see what I saw, and we have a group of players who behave them like they have to, like professionals. They treat each other like they have to. It's really very nice as a coach to see all that. So we are ready for the future, but we still have to improve. That is for sure. The situation is different now when we will play the qualifiers for AFCON. It is different because we have the experience of those 6 games, qualifying games for World Cup, what we didn't have 3 months ago. So I think Bafana Bafana is again a team, and you can expect good results. And I expect good results. And for me, but that I said it already, for me there is only one thing that counts, is to qualify for AFCON, and we will do that. I'm confident, and I know that the players are confident and hungry enough to do that again. So I'm a very happy coach. You can be sure of it. I'm a coach who see what we did, which work we did, and I have to thank for that all the team, not only the players, but also the medical staff, logistic, security, all those players, all those people who are involved with Bafana Bafana. We did a very good job, and again, I'm looking forward to the qualifiers for AFCON. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. I said earlier that we have got Bafana Bafana coaches, which are headed by Captain Ronwen Williams, and we also have defender Rashid Dirok, Tebogo Mukwena, and Ethan Brooks, just to give us an overview of the game and how they felt and how they are feeling as we are here. Over to you, Captain.
Good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, we feel disappointed, but I'm proud of the boys and the team of what we've achieved in the last 3 months. And it's obviously sad, for it to finish this way. But we believe, we've got that little belief now that things can be corrected. So hopefully, things can be corrected and we can get a fair chance. Because to go out this way, it's not nice. Because what we achieved as a team in the last 3 months is amazing, and for me to be captain of such a wonderful, exciting young team, it's a massive achievement for me. Coming into camp, I look forward to it, seeing all the young, exciting players, trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get Bafana back on track, and I think we've achieved that, and yeah, just coming to the game, when the referee comes to me before the game and says that he's going to book me for time wasting, I already feel targeted, so I already, going into the game with that at the back of my mind, that I'm a target and that he's looking at me. And then throughout the qualifiers, the ball boys did not have the balls in their hand. The balls were on the cones. But in this specific game, the ball boys had the balls in their hand, which was, unheard of, in this qualifiers. And whenever the ball would go out, they would obviously restart the ball very quickly. They would throw it back quickly. But the moment they scored, the ball boys disappeared, as you can imagine. And it took long for the balls to get back. And, I wanted to speak to the ref and tell him that some of the balls are soft. But he didn't want to hear anything about it. He said he'd rather book me for time wasting. So it was a bit of a challenge, So, and I mean, in the second half, the ball boys, they practically vanished. If you can watch the game again, you'll see me running, looking for balls. Couldn't find the balls, and I think that's where the ref should have, stamped his authority and, sort it out. And I mean, coming to their goalkeeper, the moment they scored the goal, it took so much time. And not once did I see the referee, speak to him or anything. I think he only got booked in the last few minutes. And I mean, from the 32nd minutes when we conceded up until 90, I mean, it's 60 minutes in between. And he was wasting time throughout, for 60 minutes, and not once did he get reprimanded. Whereas I got reprimanded before the game, before we conceded. For like 30 minutes, he was reprimanding me. And I did not waste time because, like I said, the ball boys kept throwing the ball in immediately. So I don't know where that was coming. So I felt targeted already. halftime I went up to him and I said, asked him what the problem was with our team, because it feels like, you know, the physicality of Ghana, he's allowing that. You know, I said that they are playing, you know, very physical and they're not challenging the ball. So he just told me that it's a contact sport. So I said yes, but then you know, that the rules must go for both teams. And he just told me to get away because he'll book me. But in saying that, you know, I'm proud of the boys. We went out there, we fought, we didn't give up. And to see youngsters, exciting youngsters fighting, you know, even when the backs are against the wall, even when you can see that you are being targeted, you know, to go out there and fight, you know, shows the character that we're building in this team. You know, the belief that we have. We didn't give up. We went out there, we fought. And, you know, I'm proud of the boys. And, you know, the future is exciting, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I just want to say thank you to the nation, to the footballing nation, for supporting us, for the words of encouragement, for the positive message that you guys have been sending. We see all the messages and we acknowledge it, you know, and especially, you know, the positive messages that the guys are sending to Rushan. You know, I know how we feel. Obviously, he's disappointed, but we are proud of him, you know. I mean, at the COSAFA, they played 6 games. He's one of the reasons they didn't concede. Sundowns is, don't know how many games. He's the reason they haven't been conceding. With us, we only conceded 2 goals in 6 games. He's one of the reasons why we've been so solid at the back. So he shouldn't drop his head. This is a small setback for even greater things to come for him. So he needs to keep working, keep fighting, and I can see a bright future, not only for him, for this wonderful team. Thank you so much for the continued support and continue believing in us. We'll go out there and fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. And now we hand over to questioning Birok and then and find out.
Put it here, they can stand here. Put here.
Leave it there.
Yeah. You can stand here. Because you must speak to these mics. No, the mics are here, Dominic. Come this side.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very, very tough few days. You know, not only for myself, but for, you know, anybody that's part of Bafana Bafana. You know, to go out in the way that we did, you know, it was very, very painful. We worked so hard, you know, during the qualifiers, you know, to put ourselves in a really, really good situation. You know, let's be honest, you know, no one really gave us a chance to do so well, and you know, it was very, very tough for us, you know, to go out the way we did. Yeah. Talking about the game, especially,
Bring a chair. Put a chair here so that you can sit. Okay, yeah. Come and sit the side. Okay, yeah, sit. So that you can speak to the mic.
Coming to the game, you know, obviously it was a very, very big game. You know, we know what it would mean to the country if, you know, we qualify for the next round. And we were all excited. We're playing against really top players that's playing in the Champions League and the Premier League, La Liga, you know, and this is what you want for yourself. You want to test yourself against the very, very best players, you know, in the world. And I felt like we did that, you know. You know, but I felt like also, you know, that the opportunity of us, you know, getting a result was taken away from us, you know, because of the decisions that was made in the match. It was so obvious, you know. It felt like the game was rehearsed, like everybody knew what was going on, you know, from the referees to the players, the Ghanaian players, and to the ball boys even, you know. So it was very, very tough for us on the field, you know, to see what was happening. I can even say, you know, from maybe like the first 10 minutes of the game, you already saw that, I mean, we're not going to get anything right in the game, but we managed to keep our cool. And we continued to fight, and I felt like we had moments in the game to maybe capitalize, but yeah, I felt like we didn't have a fair chance, and we were robbed, and we deserve, as a player, I feel like we deserve to get a second chance, to play a fair game and hopefully show what we can do. So yeah, I feel like we need to really look into this, because that was heartbreaking, because I know, like I said, what that result would have meant to not only myself, the players, our families, the country as well. So to lose it in that way, it just really, really broke me. But I just want to say thank you to the support. There's a lot of words of encouragement. There's a lot of people that was messaging me, sending me love, and that really helped in the past few days. So I want to say thank you so much.
Thanks, Rushin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I must say I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of the team. I think when we started this journey, I don't think anyone or everyone in this room believed in us, except the coach. Except the coach. But yeah, I think we did an amazing job as a team, a new team. We worked very hard to be where we are, and it's very sad that we had to lose the way we lost. I think we deserve better as a team. Going to this game, for me, I played 2 AFCONs for junior levels, under 20, under 23, and I know these things happen, and that's what you always experience when you play these African countries, and especially in AFCONs. That's what we've been experiencing, and fortunately enough, but we managed to qualify in those 2 tournaments I've played in. So going to this game, it was a tough game. I think we started well as a team. I think we had a positive mindset, and we had a belief that we'll go to the next round, and we kept that belief, and you saw how we fought in the field, how we've played, and you saw the confidence, how we kept the ball. And the Ghanaians, it's funny, in the game, they kept on saying, if we go toe-to-toe with these boys, they will beat us. Let's be physical, So I was like, oh, so these guys don't believe in themselves. But then, yeah, man, I think we have top players in this team. We must just keep on believing in ourselves. The future looks bright. The future looks bright, but for me, I'm very sad, because for me it was gonna be an amazing record, because I've qualified for the World Cup under 20, Olympics under 23, and it was gonna be Qatar 2022, and we were Division 2022. So it's very sad for me, and also my family back home. I know they are crying with me, because they know my goals, they know what I want to achieve for my future and for myself. But yeah, man, it's very sad. I'm emotional, so I can't carry on. But thank you very much for the support, man.
Thanks, sir. Don't be emotional. And last but not least,
We apologise for that break in transmission. The South African Football Association briefing the media on what they're going to SAFA with. Danny Odan speaking about the fact that Esnobo is going to watch the match again, speaking about the fact that there was betting on the match, and speaking about the fact that they believe there was a deliberate misreading of the law in terms of football in order to make sure that Ghana had a win at all costs. They were updating the media and will continue to do so. We'll bring you some more of that in our 1 p.m. bulletin. I'll see you at the top of the hour.